Zach. If you
All right, we got guys preparing for the first test here. First test we do for pump testing is a no load govern RPM test. But before that, when the rig shows up, they typically will take all the discharge caps off for the later vacuum test. They also take, if you have a keystone on your 6-inch discharge, they'll take that off and put a cap on that as well. Billy, can you explain the no load govern RPM test?
So we got to make sure that the rig actually runs at its normal operating RPMs and no more than that. We do have our placard here that says this rig runs at 1,970. You're allowed about a 50 RPM margin of difference off of that. And what we're going to do is pretty much put the engine on, make sure our wheels are chalked. We're going to leave it in neutral, release the parking brake, step on the gas pedal and get the RPMs up as high as we can, and make sure the engine specs actually match what we have on here.
Okay. And do you do that with the foot throttle in the cab?
Yes.
In neutral, and then do you do it also with your pressure governor?
After that, we do an interlock test to make sure this thing will not roll away on us. So what we'll do is we'll actually shift it into pump. We'll still leave it in neutral. And then we're going to release the parking brake, and we're going to come out here to our pressure governor, and we're going to try to increase our RPMs, and it should not allow us to increase the RPMs due to safety interlock system of the rig.
So no load govern RPM test, and then you go right into an interlock test.
Yes.
To make sure that it will not throttle up with the parking brake not set, and then in neutral or in...
It's still in neutral.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it's just the parking brake is the only thing for the
Yes.
interlocks.
And then we'll go ahead and put the parking brake back on and come back out here, and it should allow us to increase RPMs, and that should tell you that, hey, the safety systems are working and functioning as they're supposed to.
And you can see people already putting gloves on the discharges for the vacuum test, which is to come later.